NBC 24 News at 6. Major traffic pattern changes are coming to Northwest Ohio. NBC 24's Stephanie Martinez gets us prepared for the transition. Addressing the nation, what President Obama is expected to say later tonight.
Another shot at some fog developing overnight. I'll have the details coming up.
This is NBC 24 News at 6. Good evening. I'm Jim Nelson. Tonight's big story, traffic pattern changes. Starting overnight tonight, you will see several changes near Central Avenue on I-475 and US 23. Drivers will see transitions taking place over the next 4 nights. NBC 24's Stephanie Martinez has more on why it is crucial for motorists to stay alert and let up off the gas pedal.
Traveling during peak traffic times here at southbound US 23 and I-475 has been less than desirable. This week, congestion will be alleviated as the Ohio Department of Transportation completes the I-475 US 23 interchange safety project.
If you want to go to Central Avenue, be in the far right lane. If you'd like to go to southbound 23 475, you could be in the middle 2 lanes. And then if you'd like to go to 475 eastbound, heading towards ProMedica Parkway, Corey Road area, what you want to do is you want to be in the extreme left lane.
This new exit will now take drivers to a collector road, taking them to the Central Avenue ramp. A barrier will also be placed to prevent access to the southbound through lanes. Teresa Pollock stresses because this will be new, drivers have to be alert.
Your driving behavior is going to have to change. Bottom line, and what that means is paying attention.
Also happening, temporary ramps are being put in place at the Central Avenue exchange. The traffic switch will take place over 4 nights, beginning with northbound before turning to the southbound side.
So what we have to do in order to do this work when we make the switch on the northbound side is install the barrier wall, which could cause some short-term closures of this ramp. We're going to do it all at night as to minimize the impact to traffic.
It's highly important for drivers to slow down. If you're going 50 on I-475, Alex says you should have no problem decelerating to 25 miles per hour once you get to Central Avenue. In Sylvania Township, Stephanie Martinez, NBC 24 News.
There will be speed alert signs in place along the route with an increase in law enforcement presence as the traffic pattern changes take place this week. Well, new tonight, President Obama to address terrorism and growing fear from the American public. NBC's Brian Moore reports from Washington.
In the shadow of the Paris terror attacks and last week's shooting rampage in California, tonight President Obama is delivering a rare Oval Office address focusing on the evolving threat of terror. His last Oval Office speech was in 2010.
So tonight, I am announcing that the American combat mission in Iraq has ended.
5 years later, American special forces are heading back to Iraq and into Syria to fight ISIS, a terror army calling for attacks in America.
We have 70 ISIS-related arrests, more than 1 per week, 1,000 investigations in all 50 states. I wanted to tell the truth to the American people about what the threat nature really is.
In an MSNBC Telemundo Marist poll released this evening, 36% see terror as a top worry. 31% say it's gun violence.
Congress must act to ensure that no one who is a suspected terrorist can buy guns anywhere in America.
While Democrats call for tighter gun control, Republicans want to control the border.
So we do, as a nation, have the ability and should have the ability to decide who comes here and when they come here.
Political divides President Obama seeks to bridge tonight as he tries to reassure the American people. Well, the president is talking about the extremist threat. He's also addressing the need to protect American values. Brian Moore, NBC News at the White House.
Now, NBC Nightly News will have much more coverage on President Obama's address. It will also be carried live here on NBC 24 during the network's coverage of Football Night in America. NBC News has learned the FBI has searched the California home of the man authorities believe bought the assault rifles used in the San Bernardino terror attack. A neighbor took this cell phone video early Saturday morning. Agents say the man is not considered a suspect in the mass shooting. Federal officials say Enrique Marquez bought the assault rifles in 2011 and 2012. It is not yet known if gunman Saeed Farouk gave Marquez money for the weapons up front or if he obtained them at a later date. The Islamic Center of Greater Toledo held a prayer service this afternoon for the victims and families affected by the attack in San Bernardino. As it has with other recent acts of violence and terrorism, the Islamic Center says it is extending its prayers and sympathy to the families. In a statement, the center called the attack in California heinous, saying it has left them shocked and saddened.
I think people are willing to stand up and say, for Muslims, we stand up and say, not in our name, and for others, non-Muslims, to stand up with us and say, we're not going to stand back and see you harmed either.
The Islamic Center of Greater Toledo also held a vigil after the terrorist attacks in Paris. One person was hospitalized after a car versus pedestrian collision late Saturday in central Toledo. Police say 58-year-old Reginald DeVault of Toledo was struck while crossing Hawley Street near Nebraska Avenue. He was taken to St. V's with undisclosed injuries. The driver, 31-year-old Van Savage of Toledo, was not injured. Nobody was arrested. On the NBC 24 Street Beat, the Toledo Police Department is urging people to download and use the Safer Ohio app available on smartphones. The app allows users to notify the Ohio State Highway Patrol of an emergency or to send a photo with your location to law enforcement.
If you think that there's something that is bothering somebody and that they might be prone to acting out in a violent way, let somebody know.
The app is free and available in the App Store or Google Play. It also provides traffic updates and resources. We now turn our attention to the weather. Allison Peters in the NBC 24 Weather Center. I walked outside today, was hit with a little sunshine.
I know, it finally came out after we've been waiting here all weekend. Conditions finally turned around. So the weekend that we were looking for and what we were expecting, just not all that fog that really kind of restricted our temperatures, especially during the first half of our weekend. But a beautiful evening here this evening, and we can see it on the time-lapse video, taking a look out over the Toledo Harbor light. And you can see this is right before the sunset. We had the sun earlier today, and then giving us those clearer skies to actually see the beautiful colors in that sunset. Now, because we finally did get rid of that fog a little bit earlier here today, sun came out, warmed us up right to the mid-40s. So much more pleasant conditions for our Sunday than what we saw on our Saturday. And temperatures currently right now, we're in some areas are in the upper 30s already. Archibald at 39. Here in Toledo, we are at 38 degrees. Further down to the south, though, they're still all reaping the benefits of 40-degree weather here this evening. But as we take a look at the Sky Tracker radar, we are dry currently. However, take a wider look here, and you can see a little system there out over Illinois, and it looks like it's heading our way. But the good news is we aren't going to get wet from that system, and we'll be looking at some more fog potential as we start out our day tomorrow. I'll have those details coming up for you, my full weather forecast here in just a few minutes. Jim?
All right, Allison, thank you. The 180th Fighter Wing held its annual awards ceremony this morning, honoring 7 of the wing's outstanding airmen for their accomplishments throughout 2015. The winners were Senior Airman Jacob Sorosiak, Tech Sergeant Dennis Douglas, Senior Master Sergeant Sherry Szymanski, Master Sergeant Justin Brinkman, Airman First Class David Busenville, Second Lieutenant Jennifer Ferrari, and Airman First Class Charles Mason.
To me, this award is a family award. I know that I couldn't do this without the people that I work with every day. My family, the support from all my family and friends is amazing. So I know that I wouldn't be the person that I am today without them.
I feel like it's not an award that just I received. I feel as if the whole flight received this award.
All of those selected as Airmen of the Year will move on to the state-level competition against airmen from 3 other Air National Guard units in Ohio. The U.S. Navy Sea Cadets properly retired nearly 3,000 flags today during the final phase of its Operation Respect program. The flags were collected at the Andersons in November. Today, they were incinerated per the federal flag code. Of course, this comes on the eve of the 74th anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor.
Never throw a flag away, never just, dispose of it in a dishonorable way. But we're very glad to provide this service because this helps end the life of the flag as a representative of our country.
More than 45,000 flags, most of which American flags, have been collected and properly disposed of as part of the Operation Respect program. In addition to the U.S. Navy Sea Cadets, Area Boy Scouts, and the Ohio Military Reserve took part in the event. Well, still to come on NBC 24 News at 6. College football bowl announcements have been made. Alex Clays with where BG and Toledo are headed. And President Jimmy Carter with an encouraging announcement. This is NBC 24 News.